Hey guys, coming to you from the garage again. Okay, so we're doing summations by hand today. So I'm going to show you what a summation is and how to go about solving it by hand, not with a calculator, okay? Hope you enjoy the dad joke and let's go forward. I can't go forward. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is the first problem on your worksheet. So I'm gonna do it, and then I'm kind of gonna link it to the ones that we were doing earlier in this last in the last worksheet. So you know what? Let's kind of explain what this all means using that last thing that we did on the handshakes. So I told you guys that Frederick Gauss was asked to solve the summation of all the numbers from 1 all the way to 100, right? Okay, and what he did was he looked at the first and last one. Now you guys should know how to do that already, okay? Now what I want to do is kind of show the notation here for a summation. So to sum things together, you use this notation. It's a capital sigma, okay? And that means summation, okay? And what we're going to do is they usually use I. I mean, you can use whatever letter you want. I'll use I for math purposes. It's going to be wherever you start, whatever number you're going to start on. And I mean, I think most of the time it starts at 1. I was going to say I think on all the worksheet I didn't start them all at 1. So I'll do one that doesn't start at 1 as well. But what they did was he has 100 terms. So you wanted to add up all the terms from 1 to 100. And that right there is the notation for that. So what it means is we're going to go from every number from 1 all the way to 100, plugging it in for I. So you plug in the first number, and it would be 1. Then you plug in the next one, and you'd sum it with that, so it'd be 2. Plug in the next one, sum it, it'd be 3. Now let's do that here so we can kind of see what this would look like. So you plug in the 1 first. So you get 2 times 1 is 2. And here I can write them all on the side here. 2 times 1 plus 1 would be 2, 3. So my first term in this sequence would be 3. Okay? And then we go to the next one. So 1, and we're going to go to the next number, which is 2. And we're going to do that all the way up to till we hit 10. So let's go to 2. So it'd be 2 times 2 plus 1, which is going to be 5. And after a while, you'll see a pattern, and you don't have to keep plugging into this. So the next one is 2 times 3 plus 1, which is 6, 7. Yeah? Okay, on to the next one. So 2 times 4 plus 1 is equal to 9. Yeah, and now I can see the pattern is jumping up by 2 every time, right? It's an arithmetic sequence. Yeah, if you can see that, that is an explicit formula of an arithmetic, right? You have your difference of 2, and you have your first term being 1. It looks as though we didn't do that n minus 1 thing here, right? So we have an arithmetic sequence, and it's jumping by 2s. So it looks like the next term will be 11, it'll be 13, and we'll keep going until we get to the last term, which the last term is going to be 2 times 10 plus 1, which would be 21, right? So I'm going to keep doing this until we get to 21. So 13, 15, 17, 19, 21. Okay, and there's all my entire sequence, right? Okay, now what it wants you to do is it wants you to do the summation. Okay, now you don't have to write all these out every time. I'm going to show you how you only really have to do the first and last term. But so let's do it as if I wrote them all out on this one. So the addition of the first and last term would be 24, right? Okay, this one and this one. Notice it's also 24, and it's going to keep doing that for every single pair that you meet up. So the first and the last one will be 24. The second one and the second to last one will be 24. The third one and the third to last one will be 24. The fourth one and the fourth to last one will be 24. Yeah, and the middle ones will be 24 as well, right? Okay, so it looks like what we have is we have 24, and there was we would multiply by 5 because there was 5 24s, right? Now I want to show you how to get that without having to write them all out to see it. Now you could count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 terms, right? So you do 10 divided by 2, and that would give you the number of 24s you're going to have, right? Now, but that's not always going to work because you're not going to write out every number in the sequence, okay? It's just, that's going to take too long. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to just do the subtraction of these two, okay? 10 minus 1 is 9, and then when you do that, you're leaving out the first term, so you should always add 1 to get to how many terms there actually are, which is 10, yeah? So it's 10 minus 1 is 9, and then plus 1 is 10. So it's 10 divided by 2, and that'll be times 5, and then 24 times 5 is going to be, 24 times 5 is going to be 120. Okay, that's the answer to the first one. Okay, you know what? Let's make one up real quick, and I'll do it just so you guys see it again. Okay, so let's do the summation of, let's go from one, let's go from a number that's not 1. How about like 3 to 51? Okay, and we need to have an equation that we're going to use. How about we do I plus 4? Okay, now I am not going to write out all these terms. Okay, that's going to take far too long. I'm just not going to do it. But notice what you need is you need the first term and you need the last term. You don't need all these middle terms because you know what they're going to sum to. You just need the first one and the last one. Okay, so let's figure out what the first one is. The first one is using the number 3. I'm going to plug in 3. So 3 plus 4 is 7. Yeah, that's my first term. Now I have a bunch of terms in the middle that I don't care about, and I'm going to get my last term. 50. I'm going to plug in 51 for the last term. 51 plus 4 is going to be 55. Okay, so all the summation of the first one and the last one will be 62, right? I'll be 62. Oh, here, I'll write it down underneath here. So then the second one and the second to last one will be 62. The third one and the third to last one will be 62. And it'll so on and so forth, right? All of them will be 62. Now, here's the thing. You need to know how many 62s there are going to be, right? So you just need to figure out how many terms there's going to be. So in order to figure it out without writing them all out and counting them, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I am going to just subtract the 2 here. 51 minus 3. 51 minus 3. And that'll give me 48, right? So there's going to be 48 terms. 48 terms. Now, so I'm going to have half of that for the number of 62s there are. So it'll be 48 divided by 2, and that'll give me my answer. So 62, or let's do 48 divided by 2 first. That's going to be 24, right? Times 62. And my summation here is 1,488. Okay? So, I can do one more here if it didn't make sense to you. If it made sense, go on, do the worksheet. You'll be fine. Okay? If it didn't make sense, let's try number 2 on the worksheet, and hopefully that'll help you out. I need to back out of this so I can see number 2 real quick. Okay, it's the summation from 2 to 7 of 3i. 2 to 7 of 3i. Okay, let me make this bigger here. Okay, 2 to 7, 3i. Okay, pen. Okay, we're going to do the summation from 2 to 7, 3i. Okay, so all I care about is the first and last term, right? So I'm going to plug in the first term, the 2. That gives me 6. Then there's a bunch of middle terms I don't give a hooey about. Now I need my last term, so I'm going to plug in 7. It gives me 21, yeah? So when you sum your first and your last term, you get 27, okay? Now you're going to do that. That'll be what the sum of the second and second to last term is, the third and third to last term, and all of them until so on and so forth, and you're done, right? Okay, so I'm going to do 27 times the number of terms divided by 2, right? So I just need to figure out how many terms there are, and I'll be done. So how many terms are there? Well, I could write them all out and count them, but that's not going to be easily done if these numbers are very large, right? So the easy way to do it is subtract these two. 7 minus 2, that would give you 5. Okay, and remember, when you do that, you don't count the first term, so add 1 in there, and there are going to be 6 terms if you write them all out. So you plug that in there. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. So 27 times 3, your summation here would be 81. Okay, and let's just show you that that's what it comes out to. 81. I have all the answers on the bottom there, okay? And there you go, 81. Okay, so I hope you guys understood it. Good luck. Message me, or I will Zoom meet with you if you need me, okay? See you later.